Hello, YouTube. So what we've got here is we have two front seat reclining mechanisms, or just seat lever mechanism for third gen Camaros and Firebirds. This style over here, so this is from an 84 and this is from an 88. So this is what would have been used in the first half of the 80s, and then in, I believe it was 86 is when they switched over to this style. 86 or 88 is when they switched over and they rode this out until 92, and then the style changes a little bit again. So, yeah. So what happens, and this is like the annoyance of all of sport coupes, right? So your seat lock mechanism starts failing. So that's not engaged. But what happens is your seat just rocks forward and flops all over the place, and it's super annoying, right? Not so bad until you get into a wreck and there's nothing to stop it, and it allows it to come all the way forward, and you fold in half and hit the steering wheel. So that's why you want to look into fixing this. So what usually happens here, and GM was brilliant, they made this so that you have to just basically, pray or just replace the entire mechanism. They didn't make this so that you can just like pop off a couple of screws and remove the plate and check out the mechanism and replace whatever might be going on. So if you wanted to get inside this, I've done it before. I hate doing it. It's super annoying. So the bottom plate actually makes, they push through this little like rivet type thing, and then they mash it down. So if you want to get inside of it, you can. You just have to drill that out, and then you have to replace it with something the same size and, mash it again or drill it out a little bit bigger to get a rivet in there. Or you can go ahead and just like tack weld the top of it back closed. The other thing is you have to remove the spring. You have to relieve that, which is a pain in the butt. To get back here, you have to press this out, and putting it back together isn't much fun. So I don't like doing it. 9 times out of 10, what I have found is, obviously you can see over time these get a little bit rusty and they pick up seat dust and all kinds of crud. So what's happening, if you can see in the back here, there's this little plate on the older style, that little brass looking thing. It helps. There's like this arm that comes down here, and it engages the mechanism that slides up and down right there. Mechanism. It's like just a little rod. You can see it right there. And that's actually, it hits that notch, and that's what stops it from coming forward. But you can see this, as we move forward, it pushes it up and out of the way. Well, that's because of back here. That little plate, if it is holding it in place right, in the right position, then it stops it from moving and it will actually lock. So the way these work is they rely a little bit on natural gravity and mechanics. So there's a pin down there at the bottom that helps this fall into the right position at the right time when it moves forward. The other part it's relying on is gravity. So the white part up there is that little arm that has that pin attached. So 9 times out of 10, if you lube this up really well, get out your AMSOIL penetrating spray, or if it's really gummed up, get some PB Blaster or whatever. I don't like using WD-40 because WD-40 ends up kind of like creating a gummy film over time. The AMSOIL penetrating spray or Croil work pretty amazingly. Just kind of like hit all of your little pivot points and stuff, and I like to get the casing all through here kind of nice and lubed up, and then set it up like on end so that everything can kind of like run down. You can rub everything fairly well so that you don't get it all over the seat cloth material. But it's pretty much the same thing going on over here with the other style. It's just the plate in the back has changed. It's a little bit different. That one goes like kind of all the way down, and it just pivots in one spot, and it's a really heavy thing. But other than that, the mechanics in there are pretty much the same, and it's still, just relying on gravity to fall forward and hit that same little spot in there. So 9 times out of 10, if you just get it nice and greasy, then what happens is gravity will do its bit and that part will fall right into place. See, stops, stopped, stopped. So these work kind of like a pen. They have like a three action mechanism. So when you pull it up, that's one action. It relieves the pin part back there, moves it up and out of the way. And so then when you move it forward, that's action 2. So then the lever kind of like disengages, and then when you put it back, it falls back into place, and that's the third action. It should stop it. So it relies a little bit on the gravity. So you can see this is falling into place pretty much every time now. So that's about all there is to it. If that doesn't work, then you get on Hawk Motorsports and you order yourself a new one. Good luck.